Welcome to A Game of Ice and Fire, a video series devoted to a Song of Ice and Fire war game by Cool Mini or Not. We cover all aspects of the hobby with tactics and list build videos, painting tutorials of varying levels, and battle reports. You're good.
John here, playing Starks. I brought today Edard as my commander, running his honor guard with that. Some berserkers with Rob, because that seemed like a fun pairing. It just didn't get to do much last time I did it. Greywind, obviously for that package. Some flayed men, the Kranigman trackers, and the Warden. And my NCUs are Catelyn and Sansa.
For me today, I decided to throw down with some neutrals. I've got 2 units of flayed men, 2 units of cutthroats. One of them has Brawn, because I think that Brawn is like, he just adds a bunch of stuff to that unit. Like everything they want, he gives them. And then Ramsay's stuck in a fucking
Cutthroat
unit. Jeez. So Ramsay's in the cutthroat unit, kind of coming up the side here. So my deployment is pretty symmetrical. 2 flayed men on the sides, and then the 2 cutthroats in the middle. Ramsay's closer to the top screen, and then Bronze on the further down.
Yeah, then for my deployment, I ended up having Greywind and the trackers in the bottom, Stark and the berserkers in the middle, Edard and the honor guard just above that, and the flayed men above that.
So we're playing Winds of Winter, and I won the roll off and chose to take the side that I'm on because there's a objective right up by the forest in the top of the screen, and then in the middle, just like about 6 inches behind the corpse pile, there's another objective. So I've got 2 really secure objectives over here that I can grab if I need to. Plus it makes it so that John's got to maneuver around that forest to get to me, and the palisade it's not the worst thing in the world for him, but it's something, I guess.
Yeah, and then the corpse pile sucks as well in the center.
And it looks like you start out right off the bat with putting Catelyn down on the maneuver.
Yep. I figure I'm going to have to negate this corpse pile somehow, and what better way than to get Rob up the table a little quicker? Yeah, that was Rob.
Yeah, Rob with the berserkers. So for me, I finally draw my cards. Oh no, I drew my cards already. I just put Varys down on the tactics position. The missive and the coin are what really turn on the mercenary deck, or the neutral deck. Yeah, I got War Machine on the brain.
You got to live there.
So I want to get those early. They're both, the tactics one's really good early, so I'm not too worried about like blowing off an NCU right away to get that. And you look like you're going with those flayed men.
I just activated the flayed men. I'm like, yeah, we're just going to get them up the board because this side of the table is basically dead to me at this point.
You've also got to work around that forest on top too, and this is one of the Kickstarter forests. So I've not that I've been like super yippy about playing with Kickstarter terrain, because I'm not like, I don't care if it's 3D or 2D. It just doesn't bother me, because all 3D terrain eventually becomes 2D anyways when you take the trees off, so I don't see much of a difference personally. But that forest is huge.
Yeah, that forest was a massive pain in my neck.
Because I think the screen cuts off a little bit of the forest too. Like that thing's got to be what? It's got like a curve of maybe like 9 inches to it. It's just massive. Huge forest.
Yeah, and I just got zapped on the Krenniman unit with the
with Littlefinger
check. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, so Petir Baelish went down on the coin, but and this is why I like Petir with the neutrals so much, is because you don't often need the coin early in the game. So what you do is you throw them down so you can turn your cards on, but then grab a zone that you want. And those Kranigmen have crappy morale, so I just zapped them and magically took 5 off of there. So I'm super happy, and now you can't bring them back with the crown or the coin.
And Edard's on the wrong side of the field to help get their numbers up too, so that was all sorts of tragic for me.
Good old Nettie boy's abandoning the Kranigmen.
Yeah.
He's just like, well, whatever.
My thoughts were like, Ned needs to be by the horses because they're there as a tar pit and, to kind of also put out a pretty decent chunk themselves.
That's kind of the rough thing with them though too, because like Ned's a tar pit unit and the flayed men are a tar pit unit. They're a tar pit that does work, so like it's tough to find a good balance. But like I think you might have too much tar pitty stuff on the top of the screen, and then the
It's a
bottom
little bit
screen
more
is
fragile.
really fragile. So I'm moving my flayed men up. For whatever reason, the cameras decided to freak out.
Yeah, and I moved Greywind up first, forgetting a very important cav rule. They get to move first.
Yep.
So I'm like, hey, this palisade, he'll have to hit it before he could get any sorts of angles on me.
Jesus, that camera.
Yeah.
Hopefully that fixes
Why
itself
is it
sooner or
having a
later.
seizure?
I don't know. Maybe I know autofocus is on. Maybe this was the first video we did with the new lights, so maybe something's going on there. But it didn't happen in the last game that I did. Now you're taking the actual crown because my morale isn't that great either. And you're zapping, I think, Ramsey.
No, I went for Braun.
Oh,
No,
bronze
it was
unit.
Ramsey's unit because Braun has the you have the crown
I
for
have
him to be
I
better.
have the coin, yeah. So he
Yeah,
gives
the
them
coin.
+2 morale. So Ramses takes a panic and they lose 4 bodies, which isn't exactly where I want to be. But since now what you've done is you've given me a reason to take the coin. So
For realsies, yeah.
yeah, now I can actually get there. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be frustrated with this like pulsating focus, but I'm just going to live with this and we'll see what happens.
Worst case scenario, just don't watch the video and listen to us talk. Our
You
soothing
can
voices.
maybe it'll sync up with your heartbeat and then it'll be somehow therapeutic.
If your heartbeat is going like this for
You're just really excited to see those flayed men on the table. You're like, oh
there's
my
3
god,
units
it's
of
a
flayed
2+
men.
save, best unit in the game. Oh man,
you were about to say, oh, it's.
I was like, yeah, oh, it stopped. And then finally, oh, well, now it looks
Now-
like it's really stopped. So
Yep. And so that was the
turn 1.
the bottom of 1.
Now we get the first objective, and it's been a while since we played this last, but I think this one is
Kill a unit.
kill. Yep, the first person to kill a unit gets 3 points. So I know what I'm activating
Yep.
first.
And this is where I was like, well, I forgot that they got to move.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Here come my flayed men, ready to charge on in and
Flay a puppy.
kill a dog.
And I'm like searching through my cards, like, is there a way to stop? No.
Yep.
No,
No,
there's
no
not.
way to help that little pupper. If the flayed men don't kill him, I'd be shocked.
You
So,
need to roll pretty bad.
yep. And I think I pulled some commentary here because there was a spoiler that slipped out. Not movie spoiler, but game spoiler. So, enjoy the smooth sounds of my voice as crits keep raining fury down on this dog. And John is no longer allowed to talk about how games end while we record battle reports. So I'll edit it out. It's okay.
Yeah.
Um,
We
so
can fix that in post.
so we grabbed. I grabbed the dog. I'm gonna score those 3 points.
And then you put it up to 4 because we thought at that time
Yeah, I thought that the dog would be
the dog counts.
fine. And I don't care any bit about those Kranigmen charging in or shooting those flayed men because I think they're just going to bounce right off. So I get just about an inch away from them because I'm like, we're gonna go for them.
Yeah, you just didn't care at that point. And
Yep.
I was like, oh, these Kranich men, I'm going to shoot so much.
Well, you've taken the coin because you don't want me to have it.
Yeah.
And
wanted to
I
shut
try
Braun down
to.
this turn.
I use a Varys order token to stop you from healing, and I that's successful. Like my Varys rule succeeded.
Yep.
So now your Kranigmen aren't healing, and you're not getting removing a condition token because I think I put panicked out on them from the flayed men.
Yeah, that sounds right.
No, I think you have to fail a panic test in order to make something panic. So I didn't get to put the token out because
You had a token out for some reason. Maybe you put something out earlier. I don't remember. But yeah, there was a token out that I was really looking forward to getting gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure. It might have been because I had put something out with Varys, so I'm pretty sure somebody's got like a vulnerable or a weakened token on him somewhere. Because he took the tactics board turn 1.
Yeah.
But I have Petir Baelish on the maneuver, and I think I might have switched it with the tactics or the missive so that I could draw cards.
Well, yeah, and you wanted to take the maneuver to ensure that.
Yeah, I don't
get
want
it,
you to
'cause
have
I
it.
really wanted it.
Yep. One of the
This was
harsh.
a shift and a shoot.
Yep, shift and shoot.
So one of the harsh.
One of the harsh things about playing, like you learning the game and playing against me, is that Starks is where I started. So like I 100% know that if I have the turn and the maneuver position isn't taken, then I need to take it so that you can get screwed out of that.
Yeah.
I did for all the naysaying I gave the Kranigman, they still put 2 wounds on the Flayedmen.
I thought it
So
was one.
there's 2 little
Okay.
hearts next to them, so I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they took 2 wounds.
Go buddies.
Now Varys came down on the tactics position too, so I'm sitting on a lot
I
of
had like
cards.
7 cards this entire game. It was ridiculous.
Unfortunately, though, the thing about with me and neutrals, every time I play them, I never have in my hand what I need. Like, I look at the cards and I'm like, you know what? These are really great. And then they're just like, maybe they're the healing ones or the blocking hit ones. And I'm like, well, I have 2 flayed men, so I don't really care to auto block hits. And my blackguard, or my not blackguard, but my cutthroats are so far back that, okay, yeah, I fail. You put someone down on the crown to zap bronze unit again. I
Yep.
played the one that let you re-roll a panic test, and I don't get to auto pass it because I don't have the coin. And I tried and failed.
Yep.
So bronze unit took some heavy casualties. They lost 5. So it's like the what I did to your Kranigmen, you did to my cutthroats. And they do decide to get into the corpse pile. Just in case anyone wants to charge them, they've got to get those messed up dice, and they're still hanging back by an objective in case one of the cards that comes up dictates that they need it.
Yeah, and then I was just checking to see if I have line of sight to the flayed men with the berserkers.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate thing on my part.
Yeah, and from this perspective, it didn't really look like I do.
It was
but
close.
I definitely had like that corner. Like I had a solid like half inch in that corner.
Yeah, when we put the widget down to see where the where they were going to hit, they were just barely clipping the back of the edge of the base. So when I had charged and got closer to those Kranigmen, I really probably should have moved further back and just played more conservative with those berserkers being there, because then maybe the berserkers would have went after bronze unit instead, and the flayed men could follow up and then get into them that way.
Yeah.
So I was being a little too aggressive, because when you're swinging at them from the side with sundering, that 2+ save doesn't really mean a whole lot.
I mean, you just saved out of 10 wounds. I believe you just saved
A 6 because I took 4 here.
Yeah. No, you took yeah.
Yep, because there were 2 wounds on one horse, and I think those other 2 in the front are full.
Yep.
So they took some hurt, but the unit's not wiped at all, and they can still swing on the berserkers. My problem is, well, now these flayed men are just going to get behind the forest, so because right now the line of sight's being blocked from the flayed men, because they're I believe forest block line of sight. I'm pretty sure they do. No, they do cover at least. So I've got something going for me.
You've got something going for you.
But now I'm just gonna move them up anyways. I think I maneuvered and then I charged.
Yep.
So I was like, I barely have line of sight to you. I'm gonna charge you now. And I think the way that when we put that tray down, I was like, do I clip the forest at all? And we determined that no, you don't. So this is where they took a bunch of, those are a ton of 6s.
Yeah,
it's like
those
four
were
6s and all hits.
I had to roll 10 dice and then I had to roll like 3 more.
Yeah, so like 13 hits. It was maybe even, yeah, I think 13 is the right number.
And I saved a lot of them.
You did. I think you took a couple wounds.
I took 2 wounds. The horsey's still fine.
And then I think you failed this panic test. Oh no, you must have. You might have. You should have passed it. Must have passed it then. One of the really unfortunate things about those bottom flayed men, the painted ones, is that with that palisade there, they're not having an easy time turning around, so I can't change face.
This was like the perfect position for me. I'm just like, well, it is what it is. And Brian's like, I'm going to pivot. And he couldn't pivot without getting too close to the other guys because he wanted to not be on the side. And obviously, with the Berserkers, I want to attack on the side for the -2 saves that he's going to have to take.
I think here I just played a card that let me auto block some hits.
You did. That happened.
Yep. And unfortunately, I don't play neutrals enough to memorize the card names, so you'll have to bear with me if you're a a regular neutral player, you'll probably be like, oh my god, that's like the not Wealth of the Rock, but Wealth of the Rock card. But I'm not. I don't keep up with the Boltons.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like right here, I'm sitting. Man, I really wish that maneuver spot wasn't taken, so I could move Ned's army
Yeah, I
or
kind
Ned's
of.
units.
Yeah, I kind of blocked you hard on that one. But I think this is Ned's at least trying to set himself up for a good charge. So you're moving forward to set yourself up later.
Yeah.
Because I think the way you were sitting is like you had, yeah, because I'm engaged 100% on the front,
And I
so
was
you
in
couldn't.
your front,
Yep,
so I can't
you
attack
couldn't
to the
charge at
side.
all. Yep.
Yeah.
So you had to get into a position where you were like, okay, well now I'm close enough to you to where maybe
So
I
like
can get
pivot to
in.
here, right, and then
Yeah. But
have
now I
more
think.
people on your side, and we agreed that yes, that is the case.
Hmm. So now you're trying to get where you need to, because I think you must have swift advanced to
I
get
think
there.
that yeah,
Yep. And then we are just arguing, not arguing, but discussing where you could get to. So then,
in order to actually be in the side.
yep. So we made that happen, and Eddard's coming in at the side now, but no sundering. So the flayed men are still rolling on a 3+ save, which is still pretty good. Not bad.
It worked out well for you.
Not bad at all. And you Stark Furied because there's no reason not to here. And
Yeah.
I think you
I
whiffed.
took 3, and I
Oh, you
whiffed
had
my
some.
attacks.
You had some critical blows. Yeah, you didn't whiff anything because that's
No,
a
no,
ton.
I did not
That's a
whiff.
ton of dice.
That's not a ton. That was 8.
That's like a
That
lot.
was 8 out of
I
8.
somebody can go back and count all those dice because I'm pretty sure it was 11.
Yeah, no, this was not the whiff yet. You're correct.
I did lose a horse and then failed my panic test to lose a second one. So whiffing attacks my butt.
10 dice took out 1 horse. Come on.
Yep. So now we've got some more secret objectives. Well, now we're scoring them. So I get the 3. I guess I didn't take the. Oh, never mind. There's no victory through combat on Winds of Winter, or else this scenario would last 2 turns.
Yeah.
So Grey Wind didn't give me any points because that's
Anyway,
not part of the game. But I did get my 3, and you don't have any. And now we get some more secret objectives.
Well, no, you got more. This is the term Brian tells me. By the way, John, since you didn't actually read this part of the rule book, you can just discard one to get a new one, right? And I'm like, oh.
This is the first time we've had to draw.
No, we could have discarded it in 2. This is 3
Oh,
now.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe I was
Because like one of my objectives, I'm staring at it like, how in the heck am I going to make this happen?
I always tell you this is the scenario we're playing, so read it, and you're like, oh, I think
I read
I'm not
this.
gonna read it.
I'm illiterate.
So I think we got some interesting objective cards thrown up now. I think the one that we put up was every time you charged this turn, you get 1 point.
No, wasn't this the panic test one? You get a point every time your enemy fails
This,
a
yeah,
panic
this.
test.
Never mind. I might be a turn ahead.
Next
so
turn is the one that you just.
so
referred to.
for me, I'm super happy. And then the objective that the one that I revealed, I think it was
An unengaged unit
charges
on
on
an
the.
objective or something.
It's
like
either
that,
unengaged unit on an objective. I think is
is
what
what
it
I'm
was.
pretty sure you ended up having.
Yeah, we'll see as the turn plays out because I'm pretty sure that's what I'm pretty sure
And
that's what
I
it
was
is.
frustrated because I had
Hot garbage.
I had hot garbage.
Didn't you have one where it was like
Swords.
have every condition token on a unit, and you're like, well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, have a condition unit on a unit, and then Brian's just like, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this every time. I'm gonna just make sure that you don't get to place conditions.
Yep.
And I'm
Well-
like, well, maybe if Brian failed. Oh, you failed a panic test. I could have placed one
I didn't take a panic test.
on the horses up top. You failed.
Well, that was
one.
before we revealed this. That was the last turn.
Yeah, but I could have placed a panic condition, and then that card was in my hand the whole time.
How would you place the panic token?
No, because when you fail with the flayman, when you fail a panic test, don't you get to place another one within long? Or am I mixing rules?
That's when they attack. But Eddard made that attack where they
Eddard
lost
made that
it.
attack. Got it.
But we did have a bunch of stuff going on the NCU board. It looks like I think I started the turn. You started the turn off by taking a maneuver because you were like, I'm not gonna have any of this, Brian. And then I ended up taking the swords so that my flayed men could attack right away, and they didn't do so hot.
They did not do hot. You definitely whiffed that. And then right now, I was trying to figure out how I can use the maneuver with these guys better to get within 12 of Edard for his ability so that
Yeah.
they could get up to 3 ranks again.
And all I was explaining there was that you can't actually pivot through my unit,
And I can't move backwards.
and you can't move
So
within an inch. So they're
functionally, I'm stuck
they're
here.
kind of pinned.
So, and then the thing is, though, like, they're keeping Brian pinned, so I can't get rid of them. Like, they have to
Yeah,
remain in that area.
the minute those guys walk away, I'm gonna try and get
Not
out of
take
there.
it in the side. And
Well,
so,
that's the other thing that sucks though too, is because like I could retreat with the flayed. I think the way we figured it out was the flayed men could only retreat forward
yeah.
because they can't retreat backwards because of where they've landed with that palisade, and they can't retreat to the side. So those Kranigmen are making sure that my flayed men are vulnerable.
Yep. And it was worth it, obviously, to keep them that way.
Yeah, as
And
much as
then-
you want the Kranigmen doing something different, you're like, this is what they had
This
to
is
do.
their life now. So
Yep.
then, yeah, they're just, all right, we killed a guy. So, like, they did work again.
Yep, it's not the job they wanted, but it's the job they got.
Like, there's a bunch of really juicy guys on the top of the screen where I'm like, man, I really wish I could be shooting these guys.
Yep, a ton of business up there, and you've got what is it?
And instead, I'm going into a 2-up save.
16 points into a 10
Yep.
point unit right now. Oh yeah, so I decide to put Littlefinger on the tactics position so that I can, or the missive, so I can just draw cards and put out a condition token. Nothing too crazy with him. I'm not gonna like throw panic tests or anything like that. So I think I put weakened, or I think it was weakened or vulnerable on the flayed men up top, because yours are full still. Other than they've taken a couple
They've
wounds.
taken wounds, but Edard healed that
Yeah.
earlier.
Edard's doing some work. I think we're getting to a point in the game where there's a lot of thinking.
Yeah. I was trying to, like, clarify a couple things on that track.
Oh, we were saying, do I try and risk having them take a panic test? Yep, because I passed that.
Yep, I
You
was
were
hoping
like,
that if you failed that
Yeah.
panic test, I would then be able to swing around with the Berserkers and go into that unit up top that's just been chilling,
Yep.
or in the middle that's been chilling there.
and this is where I try to figure out if I can for any. Yep, I try to
too
figure
close to
out if I
John.
can do it, and I'm pivoting over your unit, so I can't. I don't think I can do that. I've never really changed face all that much, and I when I was doing it, I said I'm gonna look that rule up when we're done, and I never did. So
Okay. So we still don't know how it actually works.
I'll have to look it up again and figure that out. But well, the thing is though, is if you were changing facing, there's no way you can't pivot over someone's base. So I'm pretty sure they let you do it. But
I thought when you were talking about it before, you said that it couldn't be a unit that you're not engaged with.
yeah, maybe
Is how you explained it during the game.
it could have been also that I was just clipping the palisade. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks since we played this game.
Yeah,
That like this is.
a week and change.
Yeah, this is the game I thought had been published already when I published another like back-to-back High Sparrow Jayor game.
Yep. Because we played this one right after you played the first one that you
Yeah, right after I
put
played
out.
against Andy. My flayed men
just
blow it
swinging
up
like
again.
bosses again.
and these are this is the mini unit, because what they did is I think I put our blades are sharp, where they
Yeah.
get to attack with extra dice and hit better and all that other stuff. And I do take some wounds down on the I take at least one horse body down on
you
that
took a
flayed man
horse off,
unit.
and then I think the other one in the back has 2 wounds on it right now. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that hurt really bad.
Because I didn't do cruel methods on here. I know that much. I'm pretty sure it was our blades are sharp, where I pump up the amount of dice and do all sorts of crazy stuff. And I said re-roll the one number, because you rolled like a 5 and a 1.
Yeah, on their panic test.
Yep, and then you failed enough for me to clear off that last rank.
Yep.
So there's you failed the panic test, so I
You
get
got a
one.
point.
So I get 1 point.
Yep. So that was the objective this time.
Yep. And now you're trying to deal with this
Yeah. Now
this most frustrating flayed man in the
scenario.
universe.
Yeah. There's just one guy left.
Yep. Well, and now that I'm taking wounds, you're being forced to take the coin, which I think you did again this turn, and I stopped it with Varus. No, this was the same
No,
turn.
Same turn.
But you're still you're forced to
You
take the
shut
coin.
down- yeah, and then you also went through and
Here's some D3 blocked hits
Yep.
from a tactics card, and then I save all the wounds. So that flayed man is still alive.
Yep. And that was frustrating.
Yep, still
Oh,
just
what
stuck
you
there.
did this turn is I believe you blocked uh Catelyn from going down onto the
Oh
Berserker
yeah,
unit with berries.
I stopped the influence
Because
so
they're
that
not
they didn't hit.
influence.
Yep, so that they didn't hit as hard.
So I only had 8 dice.
Yep, Varys
That's
is
my
sweet.
excuse.
Here's another. I think this is like it's the one that lets me pull a tactics card back, and then John has to pitch a card at random.
Yep. Oh, and I
Um,
lost a pretty decent one.
yeah, it was worthwhile. Was it a devastating impact or something like
Yeah,
that?
which I was gonna want later.
And then I pulled back. Our blades are sharp.
Yep.
The neutrals are fun to play. It's just that their tactics deck is really unforgiving. Like if you
Forget
if
you
that
have a card.
well also if the situation that you're in hasn't popped up into your hand, the fix hasn't popped up for it, like it hurts. Like the thing about neutrals, and here's where my revealed objective is in. So I'm putting Ramsey, as much as I wanted to get him into a unit, like I
Yeah.
really wanted him to charge something. I know that my avenue to victory is by claiming that objective because I think this one is 3 points, and to be up 7-0 would be
A big deal.
legit.
Yeah.
So I sacrifice the red in my eyes for taking an objective.
I would have much rather you done that.
I know.
And one of my objective cards is score the center zone, like have the center objective.
That's why
And
your
that's
berserkers
why
are
the
pissing you off so
Berserkers
much.
That's why that one guy with one wound left making all those saves was just so infuriating.
Yep, because you just can't get there.
Because he kills them, and then they move 7 inches in the maneuver phase, so
Yep.
they're gonna sit on that objective,
They're
and now
just
it's
gonna get there.
not as bad. And then I would get another card back where I can possibly get more points.
Yep. No, it's just not that one flayed man. His blades might not be that sharp, but his armor is sure thick
His armor was thick.
with 2 C's. More saves coming at. I think this is Eddard attacking.
Eddard's unit going in because I was like,
Yeah.
well, maybe I'll be able to
Because if
clear
you
out these guys.
yeah, that's another one. If you wipe off those guys, then
Then my
you
ponies
can
get
get
to go
over.
forward.
Yeah, you can get over to Ramsey's unit, but I only lose one guy.
And you didn't even you lost by 1 wound or 2 wounds.
Yeah.
Like it was minuscule.
No, it wasn't a huge deal. So
And then I didn't see you take your leadership check yet.
I think the leadership check was part of it. Like
Okay.
I took a wound or 2 and then failed the panic check
Gotcha.
by 1. So I know what's in my hand and I'm getting ready to put Braun into your side. So end of the round,
Which is another reason I wanted it cleared out so that I could just pivot and
Yep.
not have that happen.
So end of the round I score 7. You score 1 for one of your cards. I can't remember
Uh,
which one you played.
I didn't play one for that. That was you failed the leadership check.
Oh,
along
I
the line,
failed
'cause
one
that's how
panic
you
test.
lost
Yep.
that one guy.
And
you
then
said.
just got him. Yep. So you got one off that. This one is
charge.
yep, just charge. Just charge
It is
something.
a charge one, right? Yeah, it's
Yep.
like just do a charge.
Because the other card in my hand works pretty well with that.
It does happen to work pretty well with that.
So you revealed one. I can't quite remember which one it was you revealed here.
Kill a unit.
Okay.
I'm like, surely,
yeah,
I have
surely
to
you
kill
can
a
kill
unit this
something,
turn.
right?
Like I've got
You've got 2
two
flayed
flayed
men
men
on one guy.
with one guy each, and one of them I know has only 1 wound left.
Yep. Lots of business in
Like
there.
surely I can kill one.
I do have the top of this turn though, so that's scary.
It was awful.
Especially since I have like a massive grip of cards in my hand, even though half of them are worthless.
And one of them, wasn't it Ramsey's card or something like
One
that?
of them, I
where-
missed a trigger on it. It's the start of the round for Cruel Intentions, and I messed up and forgot to play it. But I'm charging you on the side, and
Yep, you just
I think
revealed
this
it.
is more our blades. This might be our blades are sharp
Yeah.
to give them a lot more attacks.
Did
'Cause
get rid
I-
of a card.
I don't know. I know that I wanted to get on the coin before I did this, but I didn't think that the flayed men unit was going to survive. So I have to charge off.
Yeah, you did what you did because this is the one where you get a charge. Like the objective that's out is get a charge off, and then you had a secret objective for attack a flank.
Yep, whenever I attack a flank, I get a point, and I think that's what the other one out there is.
Yep.
So that is happy.
You had some spicy objectives.
Yeah. The thing about Winds of Winter is like if you just hit the honeypot when it comes to those objectives, you can steamroll this game. This was right now this disparity in points is like really, I think I want to say it's unrepresentative of the scenario, but I think it actually is. Like sometimes you will just get these blowout things. I don't think that this is the exception.
And like when you look at the table, I don't feel like I'm losing. But I
No.
look at the dice by our point totals, and I know I am.
Yeah, because
Right?
all I'm doing is throwing bodies at you and trying to score those points, and that's fine.
Yeah, went to that track, influenced those guys, asked if you
Trying
wanted
to
to
stop
negate
it.
it,
Yep.
and I assume I went to the healing track, and you negated
No,
the
you went to
healing.
the swords, and I stopped you from
Oh, that's
attacking.
what it was, because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll be able
Yep.
to turn this way.
Because taking the swords is really good when you're in that type of engagement, but when Varys is out there, like 100%, I have to
You're
stop
like,
you from attacking.
yeah, we're stopping that. I'm like, do you want to stop the influence or this? And you laugh. You're like,
just
what?
like, yeah, where you influence them, you do it, buddy. So
Those
here,
berserkers don't kill anything anyway.
here I put Petir on the coin and use the maneuver to get Ramsay off that objective because I expect that um the flayed men unit in front of me is going to die, and I'm like, yeah, I can line him up for this next charge. So I think for you though, you're trying to sandbag the activation
Yeah,
so that I have to do things in a different order.
because if you get the charge off on Eddard again,
Then I go up
on
to
the
10.
side, you're up to 10 and win.
Yep. So I think you're just trying to figure out where you want to put Sansa, and maybe you're thinking about. I think this is where we get into the discussion about where you want to know what's in your deck.
That was our first game.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Well, man, I'm just blending all sorts of stuff together.
Yep. Nope. That was our first game where I'm just like, when do I know this?
Yeah. No, I'm out of it.
Yeah. I'm like, you want to stop this? And you're just like, well, what? Oh no, you just took a leadership test.
Yeah,
You're
because
supposed
you
not
zapped
to
me with the
take it.
crown. And I failed this one. Finally, I failed it. So you get to do your pivot.
Yep. And it's worth noting that the berserkers, they didn't finish the job.
Nope, they didn't. It took Sansa putting on a crown to scare the flayed men away. Again, those peacekeeper widgets have been like super legit.
They have been legit every step of the way.
Yeah, I think they're. I don't like saying certain tools are essential or anything like that, but if you're looking for some type of pivot thing, I think these are a perfect addition if you're not wanting to get like
So
crazy.
here you see Brian retreat for some
Yeah,
reason. I wonder why.
Because I was like, well, I could either charge, but if John's going to keep denying me that, I'm just going to sit on this objective. I was like, don't mind me, John. I'm just going to walk onto this objective for no reason.
And so here I am. I'm like, man, if Eddard could kill a unit so that the ponies could go up there again, because I'm not saying that I know what cards you probably have, but
Yeah.
we know, Brian.
It's like I spent the time to move them up and then moved them back right away. So you're on the middle objective now, and you've charged the side on Braun. Here comes another devastating impact.
That's the one.
And you're just rolling a ton of dice on my side again. These guys will probably not last as long as the flayed men did with only having 7 wounds left.
Yeah.
So you re-roll your misses, and I think you hit with everything but 1.
Yep. Ended up being 9.
Yep. Let's
And
see
you're
how
like,
my...
I've got cards.
Yep, so I block D3 here. Oh, wait, no. I forget what I tried to play here.
You played something. Doesn't
The
matter.
unit's dead. Just like throw the dice, and I'm like, nope.
You didn't even try and pick up the dice. You
Nope,
just
I
moved
just
the dice tray
dumped
upside
them,
down.
right out. I'm like, nah, we're done with these. That was a terrible save. So it wasn't like I was worried about that happening because
At that point, it didn't matter.
they got their points that they needed to get. And now Varys goes down on the tactics board again in hopes of drawing something that can just ensure that my one
and
unit
we put
needs
a
to stay
panic
alive.
on Stark, which we can't do.
Yeah, I know. I did put a panic token on Eddard and his unit, which
I don't remember if we did it right there, if that was weekend, but we definitely did it at some point.
it could have. Yeah, we definitely weakened, or we panicked his unit, and I never really got around to playing Eddard as a Stark player. I think maybe once I played him, and some of those rules just didn't stick to my ribs.
Yeah.
So I think this is Ned's unit swinging
Yep,
into
they're
flayed
going in.
men
I'm like,
because you
hey.
want your flayed men
I need my flayed men free.
unengaged.
Did 3, you saved 3.
Yep. They're stuck.
And I'm just like, well, this is back to being awful.
Yep.
Again.
And I think this is. I might have played a.
No, I think we shook, and we were just like, yeah, this is.
I played a card from my hand for sure
did you?
over here. Something happened, but I'm not. I don't quite
I didn't
remember
think
what
we
it
had
was.
any activations left, and we were discussing stuff, and
I think you were trying to really think of how you could get there. I must have blocked D3 hits or something. D3 something happened. Yeah, because here comes more saves on the flayed man.
yeah, I activated my ponies, I think.
Yeah. Something happened. Maybe the flayed men attacked back.
Oh no, I don't know what happened.
They had to have.
Must have been, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was their activation. They swung.
They swung in.
So like I said, it's been a while.
Yeah, sorry.
Winds of Winter is always a interesting game mode to watch, though, because it's just so volatile.
It's kind of chaotic. It was an enjoyable experience.
Mm-hmm. So this is where I reveal the one card that I've been pocketing about this objective, and it's at the end of the turn, only hold one objective.
Yeah.
So I go up to 10. You go up to 6 with the ones you've revealed because you had a secret one that was like if you hold the center objective,
4 points.
yeah, you get 4.
Yeah.
So we called it there. I don't think there was just that one. I think there was one kerfuffle, right? No, there was no kerfuffle because Greywind didn't give any points.
Yep.
So fair and square. I'm pretty sure.
6.
Yep. So overall, I think the Winds of Winter scenario is still a fun one to play, but it's very can be very one-sided.
Oh no, it was absolutely a neat scenario. 10 out of 10 would play again.
Be sure to check out Game of Ice and Fire's new podcast. The link will be in the description of the video. And make sure to check out our Facebook page. Give us a like to keep up with what's going on with Game of Ice and Fire and Big Top Gaming. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to making the next one.